What's up, YouTube? How are you doing today? My name is Kelsey Wolf. I am an intuitive, I'm a healer, alchemist, astrologer, and coach, and I help women to break free from their limitations, overcome adversity that they have had in their lives so that they can get unstuck and start creating a life of fulfillment. I want to ask you, do you feel like you belong? Do you feel like you don't belong? Do you feel out of place? Like you're in a way, have you ever felt like you weren't meant to be here? Why are you here? Have you, maybe even from a very young age like me, have really questioned the world around you and your true sense of purpose and like, why are you here? Have you gone through life feeling left out, feeling like a misfit, like you don't belong? Harder for you to navigate this earthly plane? If that's the case for you, then you might be a starseed. You might not even be from this planet. Meaning, like, you are born here, you have this fleshy body, yes, but I'm talking about your soul, your energetic soul, the part of you that never dies, that continues on even after our physical vessel is done. This part of you could have been created millions of years ago. This part of you could have existed on different planets, in different dimensions, and different planes. It could have existed on this Earth many, many, many times in many, many, many different spaces and places on planet Earth, and you could have lived, and you most likely have lived, many different lives. That goes for all of us. Obviously, some new souls are being born and created every single day as well, but for many of us, this isn't our first time being alive in some way, shape, or form. And in this lifetime, it's a human form on planet Earth, which is one of the more dense areas of existence. And I want to let y'all know that we make this choice. Our soul makes this choice. Our souls love to grow and evolve and gain knowledge, wisdom, and experience. And so with that, every single life we come into is planned, is preemptive, it's co-created. And there's an idea of what our souls need and want in this particular lifetime so that it can grow and evolve and really, really come into a more infinite way of being, in the sense of the more knowledge and experience that we gather within our own specific codes, right? The more we continue to just grow and evolve. And the idea with this is to be multidimensional, to always come back to and understand different areas of life in general and creation in general. So this oftentimes means that there's a lot of people on this planet that are called what people like to call starseeds. So starseeds are souls who have reincarnated onto this planet, and they come at many different times. But as far as I've gathered, there's a lot of starseeds being born in this era of time. Hence, the world is going through major shifts, major awakenings, and although it can feel like the world is ending in a lot of ways, what we're currently experiencing as a collective is more of the Tower moment within tarot. So if you're familiar with tarot, you're going to already know what I'm talking about, but if you're not, the Tower card speaks to the complete and utter destruction. Think of like a phoenix, right? How a phoenix, when it's done, it bursts into flames and becomes ash and then is reborn and renewed. And that is kind of what we're experiencing as a collective. There's a lot of scary endings and cycles ending. There's a lot of destruction in a way. There's a lot of forces at play trying to push and pull, and that is all a part of what we as a collective need to go through so that when we come out the other side, it's clean, it's fresh, it's like that clean slate, is what I mean. And we're starting over, we're starting new. And when I say starting over, this is something that I think a lot of us need to remember too. When we as a spiritual community or spiritual gurus or whatever you want to call yourself, come in and saying, we're into the 5D and we're starting new and blah, blah, blah. We are still going to carry the knowledge and the codes from everything that we have experienced. But it's being able to take and alchemize all of that into a higher vibration. All right. But back to the main point of what this video is about. This video is for those people who simply, in one sentence, in one way or another, feel like that they don't belong. So I myself have experienced this many times in my life. I would say it really started to hit me that I'm different when I was about 8 years old. And it started to kind of get perpetually worse as I got older. And it wasn't until my Saturn return when I was 29 years old that I started to have my spiritual awakening. I started to really drastically take a bigger look inward and do a lot of inner work and self-reflection and having coaches and doing programs and all of these things to really understand that I am one of those people. I am a starseed. I am someone whose goal here on planet Earth at this time is to help the collective go through these hard times and to move up and to heal and to grow. So being someone who has this like deep inner feeling, this like gut, deep intuitive knowing that you're here to do more. Like that was something that always was so clear to me, even from a young age, is that I'm meant to do big things. I just don't know what that is. Right? So you have this deep knowing of like there's a big purpose for you, and yet there's this massive struggle of not feeling like you belong. Struggling to find those deep relationships, your community, your people. And the thing that I want to state here that's very, very important for us who've experienced those times of complete and utter loneliness, not understanding why we feel like an alien or just different from everyone around us and struggling to find our soul family. We need to understand together as starseeds, as light workers, right, that we are not meant to. If we fit in so perfectly into society, then we wouldn't be able to share our gifts and our knowledge and our intuitive knowings in a way that the world needs right now. If we fit in perfectly, we wouldn't have this like drive to be the change, because that's what the world needs right now, is change and healing. And it is those of us who feel different and who don't belong that's going to do just that. It is those of us who are going to create more art, more music, to be more in flow and connection and reverence to Mother Earth and nature, to want to be better people, to show love, to connect with more people, to share knowledge and wisdom together. We need to have that sense of I don't belong so that that can actually come into play. And the thing is that we feel different because we are. We feel like we don't belong because we don't, in a sense, right? Like I said, if we belonged, then how's your you'd be happy in your 9-to-5 corporate job and just working for the man and consuming as much as you can and all of those things that are just not working anymore. This is because we are meant to lead. We are meant to lead in these new ways of being that has not been around for at least a couple thousand of years, especially since the rise of patriarchy, right? We are meant to lead a whole new world. So of course we're going to be different than what has been shown to us, because different is the change in which we need right now. And so like with all that, it's understanding that yes, to some of us, especially those of us who've been had more lives off of Earth than on. Maybe you're a Palladian, right? Maybe you're a Lemurian, which is still Earth-based, but it's very high frequency. There's a lot of different Andromedan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Acterian, which is one that I am. There's many, many, many different types of souls. I've even had a full download vision of like, why am I obsessed with wolves? Well, it's because I come from a wolf planet, very much like Lyrians, right? And how they're kind of more like cat people. Cool. There's also wolves. So like there's infinite possibilities of where your soul could have lived lives. So for those of us who've had multiple more non-earthly plane lives, coming here, or even most recently not earth-based lives, then coming onto this earthly plane and understanding earth laws like gravity, like solid 3D worlds, right? Being a little bit disconnected from higher consciousness and psychic senses. These can all come back to us in our human bodies, but just with where we are in life right now, it's very difficult. This can feel, and just humanness in general, the fact that we have to eat food, and food, like, yes, there's vegetarian and veganism, and yes, that works for some people, but a lot of us have to eat meat. That means we have to kill animals, so that means there needs to be death. Death is a huge one that can like really be what to us in our human bodies. This again is normal for us who just hasn't had a lot of experience with this. And we have to understand that it's all for a purpose. All these experiences that we're having is for a purpose. So thank you for listening. I hope this helps. Bye-bye.